we are now dealing with godlike potential. This incredible future we have coming our way, and that it is going to transform everything. And so what do you do with that?
The very fact that you can sit down today and worry about the future of AI, right, means that right now you're okay.
We need to live for an intentional future. We need to use this technology to make the world a better place, and to uplift humanity.
The people who master AI don't get replaced. They get leverage. The money, the jobs, the breakthroughs, they're already happening. And the gap between those who lean in and those who freeze up is widening by the day.
Like, are you telling me that you're alive at this particular moment? Please make the most of that. Like, do something with that. You know, you can sit around pontificating about society and how society might work, but ultimately it all boils down to what you do with this moment. And solving meaningful problems, being brave, having fun, making your little dent in the universe, you know, that's what it's all about. And I feel like there's an obligation to your ancestors to make the most of the moment.
Instead of creating an overlord, AI will usher in a shift similar to what we saw during the Industrial Revolution. The people who are only good at the doing will be replaced by machines, as the machines will be able to make things far faster and at higher quality than humans. But the people who are good at knowing what thing to make and how to improve the machine's output, they'll be worth their weight in gold. Instead of the blanket AI will replace humans, the paper draws the conclusion that it will look more like the following rule of thumb. If the task is highly predictable, it will be automated by AI. If the task has high judgment needs, a human plus AI will be needed. And if the task is high stakes, a human plus AI for sure will be used. So our future is not best understood as AI is going to replace humans. It's best understood as asking, how do I develop keen enough judgment that I can ride increasingly powerful AI bicycles for the mind? If you allow fear to paralyze you, you're going to emotionally shut down and miss that opportunity. Plus, with the rapid advancements in areas like healthcare, odds are that AI saves far more lives than it will ever take. That's not to diminish the tragedy of every life lost and the absolute horror of what it must feel like to lose someone to a decision-making bot. But when you weigh the losses against the gains, odds are stacked in favor of the gains. That is certainly what history tells us. And that's not even to mention that given the amount of energy the sun showers on the earth, AI will most likely help us efficiently capture that energy, driving the cost of energy to effectively zero. And the positive effects of that one simple fact cannot be overstated. The vast majority of one's expenses is tied to the cost of energy. That's why oil prices so directly impact the cost of living. If you drive down the cost of energy, which AI will inevitably do, you will make everyone richer without exception.
I think we live in the most interesting time in human history. So for the single mother that's listening, for someone who wouldn't be the stereotype of a tech bro, don't assume that you can't do this stuff. It's never been more accessible. Today, within your work, you can be an entrepreneur. You don't have to take massive risk to go create a business.
There are two sides to where we are now. One side is, how do you handle all of those challenges and remain calm and unstressed? Being concerned about a future that might be a little challenging is in itself evidence that the present is okay, right? So we need to start by embracing that present. Okay, and really using that clarity to focus on what actually matters. And what matters is this conversation. Okay, what matters is a human connection. What matters is really being able to reflect and be the best person you ever had the potential to be. You don't have to be the best person in the world.
The people who master AI don't get replaced. They get leverage. The money, the jobs, the breakthroughs, they're already happening. And the gap between those who lean in and those who freeze up is widening by the day. So step one in the playbook isn't technical at all, it's mental. You've got to reorient your mindset. If you believe you can't get better, you won't. But if you believe you can, you will. Step 2, master the tools. Don't fear ChatGPT, Midjourney, or Claude, because the people who do are already getting replaced by the ones who are using them. If you're trying to outpace AI without AI, you're going to lose. While change may be deeply uncomfortable, anyone who insists on fighting against the adoption of AI will simply get swept away by the tides of change. And tools are only going to get more powerful over time, Subai. Step 3, get into assets. If you don't own assets, inflation owns you. You are hemorrhaging buying power every single day of your life. You're being stolen from, and you're doing nothing to stop it. Step 4, build machine-proof skills. AI is a monster at patterns. It writes code, it drafts legal docs, it spots tumors on scans. But here's what it can't do. Be human. Therapists, teachers, and nurses are all among the fastest growing job categories in the US. Not because they're immune to AI, but because trust and empathy don't yet scale with silicon. Physical dexterity is also another moat. Robots can weld on an assembly line, but they're nowhere close to what a plumber can do as to crawl under a sink or a contractor solving a messy renovation in real time.
What's it going to feel like when you're seeing a humanoid robot delivering your packages, or walking down the street, or coming over to ask you if there's something else you want done? But by the way, these robots aren't just, stupid machines. They're running the latest AI systems, right? They are PhD level intelligence in your robot. They're going to be very capable. In the beginning, it feels weird. It's a spectacle. We take photographs. But after a little bit, we fully adapt. And that's the brilliance of human mind and society. And it becomes normal. It's part of our lives.
Stay calm in the raging sea of change. The people who win are the ones who lean in, adapt, and master the tools.
So what jobs are going to be impacted?
Yeah, all of those. So I think...
And what do they do?
I think if your job is as routine as it comes, your job is gone in the next couple of years. In those jobs, for example, quality assurance jobs, data entry jobs, you're sitting in front of a computer and you're supposed to click and type things in a certain order. Operator and those technologies are coming on the market really quickly, and those are going to displace a lot of labor.
How to avoid a guaranteed path to failure. A Reuters Ipsos poll found that 72% of Americans fear AI will permanently replace jobs. And they're right. When the printing press was invented, Europe descended into chaos and war. When electricity arrived, it wiped out entire industries. The internet destroyed millions of jobs, from travel agents to local newspapers, and AI is already proving that it's going to do the same. However, the printing press also gave us mass literacy, the scientific method, and the Enlightenment, essentially all of modern life. Electricity created modern medicine, communications, and the entire Second Industrial Revolution. Didn't die from a hangnail? You can thank electricity. The internet also created entirely new industries and more than 20 million jobs worldwide. And in medicine alone, AI systems have already slashed drug discovery timelines from 6 years to just 18 months. Everyone is convinced that as AI gets better, humans will get less valuable. But a recent research paper titled The Economics of Bicycles for the Mind by A.J. Agrawal, Joshua Gans, and Avi Goldfarb shows that's not necessarily true. The key is to understand the different types of work. As outlined in the paper, cognitive labor itself needs to be split into 3 parts. 1, implementation, so doing the task. 2, opportunity judgment, aka identifying areas for improvement. And 3, payoff judgment, knowing what things actually matter. AI is exceedingly good at implementation. That's why a junior dev can suddenly code like a mid-level dev if you let them use Cursor. Or a newbie designer can mock up a dozen pro-grade comps in minutes with Midjourney. But here's the flip side. The better AI gets at doing, the more valuable human judgment becomes. Human judgment is the difference between a wall of AI slop and something actually useful. Knowing which design to pursue, when to iterate to make it better, and how, and being able to identify what the client is actually looking for. That's where humans come in. Strangely enough, computers actually helped widen wage gaps, but AI is now narrowing them.